right. Awesome. Well, hey guys, first of all, let me welcome you for joining me tonight on this webinar. And whether I personally invited you or somebody else shared this with you, I'm thankful that you're taking a few minutes out of your evening to just hear a little bit more about how you can live a better lifestyle. And if you received the email from me, you saw that said sleep better and lose ugly fat starting tomorrow. Well, the reality is when you start to fuel your body the right way, when you're doing the things that improve your overall health, you are going to sleep better. And of course, you're going to lose that stubborn, unwanted fat. So what I wanted to do tonight is just something a little bit different than what we normally do. One of the things that I'm going to cover tonight is the 5 most common weight loss and fitness myths that are out there. And then, of course, I'm going to talk about nutrition. I'm going to talk about exercise. And hopefully, you'll get some tips and some tools that you can use throughout your everyday life. Because remember, guys, this needs to be a lifestyle. This is not about a quick fix. You know, let's, for example, if somebody has about 50 pounds to lose, they didn't gain those 50 pounds in a short period of time. So why do we always think we're going to lose it in a short period of time? You know, we're working hard in the week. We're like, man, I've been working out hard for 2 weeks and just not seeing any results. All right. First of all, it's a process, and we have to enjoy the process. So that's one key. The other thing is we need to make sure we're doing the right things, and that's what I'm hoping you're going to be able to learn tonight is how to properly fuel your body and what type of exercises do you really need to do? Do you need to do CrossFit? You know, do you really need to do these high-intensity workouts? Well, you'll see based on your goals, you may not. Okay, so the 5 biggest weight loss and fitness myths. Now, before I get into this, let me just share some, because some of you may be hearing from me the very first time. And so if you don't know me, I've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years. I've been in the personal training, nutrition coach. I've owned my own gyms, and now I focus on nutrition solely. So I've seen a lot of really good stuff, and I've seen a lot of bad stuff, because let's be honest, the fitness industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And so unfortunately, when you have something where there's so much money to be made, you have some people who are not telling you all the truth, right? So I'm going to break it down to you. And a lot of this, you may think, well, you know, that's just common sense. I knew that, but, you know, I don't know why I haven't been doing it. Well, don't beat yourself up, because you are not alone. The reality is, there is so much information out there. In fact, I should say so much misinformation out there about what it really takes to live a healthy lifestyle. Look, if you're not a bodybuilder, if you're not going to be in the fitness and figure competition world, okay, you don't have to eat like a competitor, all right? We can live a normal life. We can still go out. We can still enjoy all the things that we have available to us. Because, guys, you put a cookie in front of me, I'm probably going to eat it. But you know what? I'm doing a lot of the other things that we're going to talk about tonight consistently. And that is the key. Consistent effort over enough time is what's going to get you those results. Okay, so what I want you to think about as we're going through a lot of this stuff, and I'll hit on it, thinking a minimum of 90 days out. Okay, never think of, you know, just a 1 month at a time. Now, we can start breaking things down into smaller goals and do it by week or per month. But ultimately, you want to make a commitment to at least the next 90 days, changing your habits, changing your ways, so that you can truly make these things a lifestyle. Okay, and also so you can see significant improvements. How many times have we gotten on a program, we do it for a couple of weeks, we're like, oh, it's not working, let me go try another one. Oh, well, that one's not working, let me go try another one. We never give our bodies time to adjust. Okay, so minimum 90 days, but ultimately think 1 year out. Because, guys, regardless of whether you do this or not, a year is coming. And so when you look ahead in 1 year, what do you see? You know, does that excite you, or does it scare you? And if it scares you, then you need to do something different. All right? So let's go ahead and start. You may not be able to see everything up there. I'm not sure. This is kind of a new thing that I'm trying here. But I'm going to go over it all, so it's not a big deal. But myth number 1 is that dieting will eliminate fat. And guys, your body doesn't know the difference between calorie deprivation and calorie starvation, okay? And calorie deprivation would be like in a diet, right? Starvation would be you don't have any food to eat. Well, your body doesn't understand the difference. Okay, when you significantly restrict your calories, here's what your body does. Your body's a machine. Your body wants to be as efficient as possible. And so if you say, well, hey, I'm going to go on this diet, and how many of us have done the low calorie, low carb, low fat, no protein, or no, whatever the diets are out there nowadays. How many of us have done those where we're significantly reducing our calorie intake? Well, here's what happens is your body has a set point of where it needs calories to just function for its everyday needs, called your basal metabolic rate. So your basal metabolic rate says, hey, these are the amount of calories I need just to function every day, to do the things that you do on a normal basis, breathing, respiration. So pretty much everything you do at rest, here's the bare minimum, okay? Well, a lot of times when we go on these very restricted diets, we go below that. And so what does your body do? Well, it goes into starvation mode. And starvation mode says, hey, we need to find some way to slow our basal metabolic rate down so that we can function off the calories that we're now getting in. So how do you think it does that? And this is the thing. You'll see people who get on these diets and are like, oh man, I lost 10 pounds this week. You know what? 10 pounds in a week is a lot. Healthy weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds of fat loss per week, not weight loss. Okay, because when we talk about weight loss, we can be talking about muscle, we can talk about water, and on a starvation or calorie deprivation diet, that's really what we're talking about. The weight you lose is predominantly going to be muscle and water. And why is that? Well, muscle is metabolically active tissue. It takes a lot of calories for your body to hold on to muscle. So being efficient, it says, hey, you know what? Fat, we really don't have to burn a whole lot of calories to hold on to, but this muscle, and this stuff is just taking a lot of energy. Let's get rid of it. So you start losing muscle. And that's what sets your basal metabolic rate lower. Okay, and now you've set it. Okay, so it's functioning, let's just say 1,000 calories. It's functioning off 1,000 calories. Now, let's be honest, how often or how long do you stay on any one real restricted diet? Not very long, right? Maybe a month. Some people I've seen go longer, and unfortunately, that's even worse. But here's what happens is, let's say you do it for a month or so. You lost 20 pounds. Okay, we know where that 20 pounds came from, mostly muscle, water weight, maybe a little bit of fat in there, but mostly muscle. Okay, so now you're like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I need to eat just normal. So let's say your basal metabolic rate was 1,200 calories, and you went on some kind of diet and you started getting in 1,000 or so. So your metabolism has slowed down. Well, now let's just say you go up to 1,500 calories. Okay, 1,500 calories is a healthy plan. For the average person that's wanting to lose weight, 1,500 calories is okay. All right, so now you're up to 1,500 calories, but your body really only needed that 1,000. So now you've got this 500 calorie surplus. Well, what do you think happens to a surplus in calories? You gain weight, right? Yeah. Oh, well, that's what happens. And guess what? Do you think it comes back as that muscle you lost? No. It comes back as fat. And so as you're going through your day and you've got that 500 calorie surplus over a period of a week, that's 3,500 calories that you're in addition to what your body actually needs. 3,500 calories is equal to 1 pound of fat. And this is why it's so easy for people who go on these real restricted calorie diets to go back and forth, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight. By the time they're done with dieting, they've actually gained more fat than what they started off with. That's that rebound effect of the yo-yo diet. And that's what happens to a lot of people. So we need to understand how to balance our calories, make sure that we're getting proteins, carbohydrates, and healthy fats, because our body needs every single one of those nutrients to function efficiently. And we need to make sure we're getting in enough calories. And when we restrict our calories, we make sure we're getting in enough nutrition through supplementation. And we'll talk about that as well. So myth number one is that dieting alone will eliminate fat. We need to make sure we understand the distinction between fat loss, which is healthy, and weight loss, which could be unhealthy if we're losing a lot of lean mass, okay? And one of the best ways to tell if you're doing things right is your energy level should be high, your clothes should be fitting better, and you shouldn't be dragging throughout the day. Okay, those are just some key things that you can look at to see whether or not your program's working. One of the other things too, if you're working out, is your strength or endurance decreasing? If your strength and endurance is decreasing, most likely you're not eating enough calories. And so you need to find the balance, okay? So that's myth number one. And I'll talk to you about how you can find the balance. Don't worry about that. Myth number two is pills, powders, and shakes can make you skinny. Now, you may be like, whoa, this is like the supplement guy telling me that pills, powders, and shakes can make you skinny is a myth? Well, that doesn't make sense. Here's the thing. Obviously, you guys know that I am a true proponent of supplementing your diet with nutritional products. However, again, because it is a multi-billion-dollar industry, there are a lot of companies out there that just do it the wrong way. They're not safe. They're not effective. It's based on marketing and hype. And it's really just to take your money away from you and get it into their wallets. That's really what it comes down to. So we need to be smart about some of the things that we do. And there are some diets out there that will tell you, well, just have this meal replacement shake for breakfast and lunch, and then have a sensible dinner. Guys, that's not a lifestyle. Can you lose weight? Sure. A, you're going to be on a severely calorie deprived diet. Okay, so we know what happens with that. But B, it's just not a lifestyle. You can't do that for the rest of your life, and who the heck would want to? Okay, so supplements are just that. They are a supplement from what you're not able to get or what you're not getting from diet alone. Okay, so we always start with food, and then we fill in what we need from there. Okay, so don't use nutritional products just to lose weight. Okay, you're thinking about it the wrong way. We need to combine everything: the proper food intake, proper supplementation, and exercise, which is the next myth, is that aerobic exercise will burn the most fat. And you know what? I see people in the gym all the time. They are just killing it on the treadmill. I mean, going as fast as they can, as hard as they can, as long as they can. And guess what? You know, they're about this big around, okay? Or they're not losing the fat. They still have the tire around the midsection. You know, they still look exactly the same week after week after week, and they're killing themselves in the gym. And here's the problem: is it's not just about aerobic exercise. Okay, we do need some aerobic exercise, but we also need to moderate how much and how intense that exercise is, because your body has certain set points. If you go above and beyond your maximum heart rate, and this is something that would require another night to go over maximum heart rate and everything, but there are some easy calculators you can find on Google that would give you a good idea of where your maximum heart rate should be. You should only be about 70%, between like 60, 70% most of the time of your maximum heart rate. Sometimes you can go a little bit higher, especially if you're doing interval training. That's perfectly fine, because in interval training, your heart rate's getting up for, could be about a minute, but then you're taking it back down to that healthy level for 3 to 5 minutes, and then going back and forth that way. But if you're constantly at a high intensity level, well, your body starts to burn off carbohydrates, right? And once your body goes through its glycogen stores, which is how it stores carbohydrates, it will start attacking your muscle, okay? And here's something you can write down if you're taking notes: gluconeogenesis. You like that one? Gluconeogenesis is the process where your muscles break down, and that allows your body to get the carbohydrates that it needs for the energy to get you through whatever workout or aerobic program that you're doing. That's the last thing that you want. Okay, so we need to make sure that we're moderating our aerobic exercise, and we're incorporating some strength training to make sure that we're maintaining muscle mass, okay? And, you know, how long do you need to do any type of workout to really see results? Because that's a big thing. Again, a lot of people, just like with the diet that I said earlier, a lot of people will work out for a week, 2 weeks, and like, man, I'm not seeing that muscle definition that I want to see, or I'm not seeing. the weight loss, I still got this big tire around my midsection. Well, first of all, this is usually the last place to go. And the reason why is twofold. One is it's usually where most of us carry the most amount. So even though you're losing it, you just don't see it because there's so much there. The second thing is the only thing protecting your internal organs right around this area is your abdominal wall and the fat around your midsection, right? So it's just kind of a safety mechanism. Now, of course, some of us have way too much padding right there that we don't really need. So you have to give it time. And I always say, look, when you're starting an exercise and fitness program, you really need to give it a good, solid 12 weeks to really see some changes. Now, initially, you typically see it in the arms. You'll see it in your extremities. So arms, legs, your face, because there's usually not a lot around those areas. So you see those results a little bit faster. But again, you're not going to see it in 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It may be in that 4th, 5th, 6th week where you start to really see some differences. And that's why it's important for you to take photos. Okay? Anytime you start a wellness journey, whether that's specifically just a nutrition program, if it's exercise, if it's combination, always take photos. You see yourself every day. You're not going to see all the little small changes that should be happening within those couple weeks or so. And don't do it every day. Don't do it every week. Okay? So I know some ladies, you love to get on the scale every day. Don't do it. Don't take photos every week either. Do it every 3 weeks or so. Okay? So that you can see the changes. But that's a good way to stay motivated and really be able to see the progress that you're making. Okay? So aerobic exercise is great. Just make sure that it's not all you're doing and that you're moderating it so that you're maximizing how many fat calories you burn. So remember, with your maximum heart rate, it's typically anywhere between, we can say 65 to 80% is a good range. Once you start creeping up above 80% of your maximum heart rate, that's when you could start getting into that zone of burning more muscle for the energy. Okay? So, hope that helped. Myth number 4 is that resistance training, aka lifting weights, doesn't burn fat. And nothing could be further from the truth. You like how I did that? All right. So, but it's true. Okay, muscle is metabolically active tissue, which we talked about earlier. Muscle takes a lot of energy to hold on to, which means your resting metabolic rate is increased. Okay, whereas fat really doesn't take a whole lot of energy for your body to hold on to that fat. That's why it's a great way for your body to store calories. Okay, so when we increase our lean mass by lifting weights, now when we talk about resistance training, okay, ideally I'm going to give you a rough estimate as far as how many reps you should be doing. Okay, for the general population, we're not talking about bodybuilders, we're talking about regular people like you and I, all right, who just want to live a better quality of life. Anywhere between 10 to 15 repetitions is good. If you really want to increase your strength, you can go a little bit lower, 6 to 8. However, for the average person, 10 to 15 repetitions of an exercise is great. But what I see most people doing is they're picking up these weights, and by that last rep, it feels like the first rep. And that's what you don't want, okay? If those last 3 reps feel like your first 3, you are not lifting heavy enough and you're not going to see results. Okay, those last 3 exercises should be a struggle. Now, it shouldn't be to the point where you're like falling off the bench or anything like that, but you should be struggling. Okay, it should be tough. Maybe you're shaking a little bit, but you can do the full reps. Okay, you feel the burn. That's when you know your body's going to change, because if you don't feel that, what's happening is you put little microscopic tears in the muscle fibers. Okay. When you do that, your body says, hey, just like when you get a cut, what does your body do? Ooh, we got a cut, we need to go heal that. Same thing with your muscles. Hey, we got these tears, we're lifting stuff. A, we need to repair it, but also we need to make it stronger for the next time. Okay, and that's how you progress. So if you're not lifting heavy, you're not going to see changes. Now, you'll also see, all right, this is not a look-alike contest. We're not talking about looking like Arnold or Madonna back in her heyday, right? She's a little too thin now. You don't have to be a fitness competitor or bodybuilder, all right, to be able to achieve a higher resting metabolic rate by resistance training. You don't. Okay? You just have to work out consistently. You have to lift heavy enough weights that it causes your body to change. Okay? And we all know if we're doing it or not. Okay? So, two things. One, if you're only doing aerobic exercise right now, I want you to switch that around so you're incorporating some weights. And don't get too overwhelmed by, well, I don't know how to lift weights. It's not really rocket science, guys. You can go on the Google and say, I want an all-over body workout. And that's really for anybody who is looking for general fitness and wellness, health, a full body workout, 3 days a week. Okay? So 3 days a week, resistance training, maybe some cardio that's built into that as well. That's perfectly fine. And then you have 3 to 4 days of cardio, okay, that you're going to do. Now, you could do 5 days, a little bit of cardio, some strength training. Make sure that strength training, though, is you're moving. So that's another key. Okay, when you're strength training, we do need the muscles to recover fast enough or long enough, but we don't want our heart rate to get too low. Okay, so you want to move, and I always call it active rest. So the goal here would be you do a set, and let's just say chest press, okay? Every guy likes to do chest press, right? So we're doing chest press, we get our 15 reps in, and now you'll see most people just kind of sit there, and you're like, hey, I gotta wait 60 seconds. Okay, 60 seconds gone by. I'm gonna do my chest press again. Wait 60 seconds. Okay, don't do that. Okay, if your goal is fat loss, if your goal is general health and wellness, keep your body moving. Active recovery. And what is active recovery? It could be you do chest press and then you get on the floor and you do some crunches, or you do some flutter kicks. Maybe you get into a plank, or maybe you do a row. So you're working opposing muscle groups. You can do that. So a lot of times what I'll do with people is I'll have them do a chest press. I'll have them do a exercise for their back. And then I'll have them do some crunches for a little more active recovery, and then we go back to chest. And we'll do 3 rounds of that. Okay? So that's one way that you can do it. Get creative with it, but make sure you're hitting your major muscle groups. Okay? Don't focus just on your arms, doing your triceps and your bicep curls. Guys, these are smaller muscles than these and these. Okay? So we want to work our big muscle groups, especially your legs. Okay? We got to squat. If you can get strong legs, man, you will burn some calories, I'm telling you. So focus on your big muscle groups. Don't leave these guys out, though. Maybe towards the end of the week, you focus a little bit more on arms, shoulders, some of those smaller muscle groups. But that's key. So resistance training, guys. And some gyms out there, let me give you just a little info on that, because a lot of people are like, well, do I need to join a gym? And you don't. There's plenty of stuff that you can do at home to get a great workout in. Again, you just have to make sure that whatever you're using, whatever your rep range is, that it's fatiguing you by the end of that rep range. Okay. However, if you want to join a gym and your goal is general wellness, one of the big ones that's going on, and I love it, and that's why I'm sharing it with you, Orange Theory Fitness. It is a great all-over workout. It's endurance, it's strength, it's cardio. There's also 9-round kickboxing, 9 rounds, which is, I said kickboxing, but kickboxing is a little component, but it's called 9 rounds. And that's a gym that's starting to open up in a lot of cities. So I would definitely check them out. And I'll tell you what, if you've never done any kind of boxing before, it's fun. It's fun, and it is a workout. It's just 9 rounds. They're like half-hour workouts. You have to talk to my buddy Jacob, who's actually a coach at one of them. Dude, they're tough. And I mean, you could go around it again and do an hour workout. But, just find somewhere if you need to maybe have that extra accountability, that extra coaching. And that's one of the reasons I like Orange Theory, is because it's a set time that you go in. It's all group training. And I know when I go there, I'm going to get a great workout. I'm going to be able to push myself harder than I normally would in a regular gym. And for me, that works. Okay, and I like to get in and get out. And also, I don't like to think. All right, I've been in this industry so long now that when I go to a gym, I don't even want to have to think anymore, because I've been thinking about how to put people's workout programs together for so many years now. For myself, I just want to go in there. I want somebody else to do that for me. So that's just something that I like. But if you're the type where you can go to the gym, you can really push yourself, by all means do it. And again, there are plenty of different workout ideas that are online that you can download and take with you if you're not as creative. Okay, and always feel free to reach out if you want any help with that. I can kind of point you in the right direction. So myth number 4, resistance training doesn't burn fat, and we know that's not the case. Oh, and this is the other thing on that, and then I'll move on. Again, when it raises your resting metabolic rate, remember that resting metabolic rate is how many calories you burn at rest. Okay, so this is the secret to long-term success, is that you're raising your metabolic rate. Your body's burning more calories even while you're sleeping. Pretty cool, right? So you're burning more calories sleeping. You're not even thinking about it. Your body is just in high view. All right, so lift heavy things. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Okay, myth number 5 is that thigh reducers, tummy trimmers, and body part shapers can spot reduce. So I want you all, I know I can't hear you, but I still want you to work with me here. I want you to say this, okay? There's no such thing as spot reducing. Okay, let's say that again. There is no such thing as spot reducing. It doesn't matter how many Suzanne Summer Thigh Masters you do, or the ab dolly rollouts, and all these other different tools and gadgets that are out there. Now, are they a total ripoff? Are they a total scam? No. They do help strengthen those areas that are working. But if we're eating Krispy Kreme donuts and sitting on the couch doing Suzanne Summer Thigh Master, what do you think happens? All right, your fat still goes up. Your legs might get a little stronger, but guess what? They're probably going to be rubbing a little bit closer together too. Okay, so increasing your lean muscle while increasing your fat isn't going to help us. Okay, so we need to make sure that if we are using some of those things, you might want to do your research first, because there are some of them out there that are just total waste of time. Okay, the Suzanne Summer Thigh Master thing, that's one of them. Definitely not a fan of that. Ab rollouts, I mean, they're great for your core, they're great for your arms. So those I do like, but we just have to be careful about that, and we need to make sure that we're eating the right foods, we're supplementing our diets with the nutrients that we're not getting from our foods, and we're doing a combination of aerobics and strength training to maximize the results that we're looking for. Okay. Now, one of the things that I want to include in this webinar too, so those were the 5 myths. Hopefully you got that. The 4 secrets to actually achieving, and I say secrets, they're not secrets, because once you start seeing these, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I've heard that before. Okay, but I'm going to call them secrets just for the sake of it right now. Okay, but the 4 secrets to finally achieving your health and wellness goals. And the first thing is making a simple commitment to your program. And now when I say commitment, don't just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, you can do that, but we need to go a step beyond that. Okay, we need to truly commit. And by truly commit, it's a couple things. One, it's saying, well, I'm going to commit to 12 weeks. Okay, the next 12 weeks, I'm putting my head down and I am focusing. I'm eating my 4 to 5 small meals a day. I'm taking my nutritional products every single day without fail. I'm going to my workouts and I'm scheduling my workouts. Okay, and that's, I think, key, is to take your phones. Mine's over there. I was going to grab it. Take your phones out. Okay, look at your calendar. We all know what our schedules are. I mean, some of us who have, varying schedules, or but most people have a normal 9 to 5 job. You kind of know what your day is going to be like. Schedule your workouts, and if that means you have to wake up earlier, guys, I'm sorry, wake up earlier. If you truly have results that you want to achieve, and the pain is big enough, you've been carrying around this weight for long enough, or you haven't been in the shape that you want to be for long enough, you're not able to work with your kids or run after your kids without huffing and puffing, or you can't go up 2 flights of stairs without having to take a break. Guys, if that's you, you've got to just do it. If you work a 9 to 5 and you've got commitments after work, we know before 9 o'clock, you don't have any commitments other than sleep. Right? Go to bed earlier. Go to bed earlier. Wake up a little bit earlier. Even if you're getting in a 30-minute workout, you can do that at home. Okay, 30 minutes, guys. If you're doing that every single day, is huge in the long run. Okay, now we know diet is 60 to 70% of our results, so we need to make sure we're really focusing on that. And I would argue that it's even more, a higher percentage than that, but that's what the experts say. 60 to 70% of our fitness and health results are tied to what we eat and the nutrition that we put in our body. The other part is your resting metabolic rate and exercise and activity. So if you can get in 30 minutes a day, guys, it is worth it. Okay, now I know it's going to be hard at the beginning if you do have to get up earlier, but it gets easier. It gets easier the more you do it. Your body, again, it's a machine. It wants to be efficient. It's going to know that, hey, yeah, we were waking up at 6:30 before. Now we're waking up at 5:30 to do this workout thing. The first week or two might be a struggle, but eventually your body says, hey, we get up at 5:30. You're not even going to have to think about it anymore. You may not even have to set your alarm because your body will know, hey, 5:30, time to get up. Get your workout in. Okay, so make a commitment to your exercise program. Ideally, 40 to 60 minutes of exercise, which includes an aerobic component and a resistance training component, at least 3 times per week. For general wellness, 3 times per week. I recommend 5. Personally, I do about 6, and then on that 7th day, I'm not lazy and just laying on the couch, but I'm letting my body recover. Okay, and what can workouts be? Guys, workouts can be anything you want. They can be your traditional strength training, aerobic training, and all that stuff that we talk about, going to the gym or doing a DVD. But it can also be dancing. You know, dancing is a great exercise. I'm a diver, and diving, believe it or not, it's great exercise, especially when we're doing shore dives, and I'm having to swim on my back way out there before I drop down. Okay, all that stuff, you are burning a lot more calories. Your heart rate's going to be elevated. So just get your heart rate elevated. Now, walking around the mall and stopping at every store and looking at, the windows and all that, that doesn't count. Mowing your yard, unless you're running behind that lawnmower, most lawnmowers now, they got the little grip that the wheels go for you. That doesn't count. Gardening really doesn't count. That would be a day 7 type activity, okay? So we need to make sure that we are fatiguing our muscles, we're fatiguing our bodies so that it can create some change. Next is get a coach. Okay, so the second secret to achieving your weight loss and fitness goals is getting a coach. Okay, now, who's a coach? A coach is going to be somebody who has more knowledge than you. So it doesn't have to be a trainer, it doesn't have to be a fitness expert or whatever, but somebody who has more knowledge than you, maybe somebody who has achieved the results that you're looking for. Okay, that can be your coach. So don't feel like you have to get somebody who's got all these degrees and certifications. No, just somebody who is getting stuff done. All right, that can be your coach, and somebody who's willing to help you. Right. So it can be a teacher, it can be your friends, anybody who's going to be there to guide, motivate, educate you, and keep you accountable, okay, which is huge. And understand this too, fitness is a bona fide, okay? We know what works, we know what doesn't work. Okay, now, of course, every individual is unique. There's going to be certain things that you have to tweak a little bit, but we know eating clean foods, okay, balance of carbs, proteins, and fats. When we're eating clean, we're eating less processed foods, we're eating lower saturated fats, we're eating more complex carbohydrates and lean proteins, healthy fruits and vegetables, more fibrous fruits and vegetables. We know your body's going to do what it's supposed to, which is build muscle and burn fat. We know that. We know if you lift heavier weights and you fatigue the muscle by 10 to 15 repetitions, you're going to get stronger. Okay? We know if you do aerobic exercise where you're getting your heart rate up to 65, 70, 75%, you're going to be maximizing the amount of fat calories you burn. Okay? We know that. So we just have to do it. Put all the components together. Okay? Now, the other thing is the secret of progression. So I talked earlier about how your body's a machine, right? If we do the same thing day in, day out, what do you think happens? Our body gets used to it, right? So your body says, hey, you know what? Kind of know what to expect now. And your body starts adjusting how many calories that it burns to do that exercise because our body's getting more efficient. So you can do the same amount of exercise, day 1, and by day 30, you're not burning nearly the same amount of calories as you did when you first started. So what do we need to do? We need to make sure we're constantly progressing. And again, that's why I go back to the 9 rounds, to the Orange Theory type workouts, because they constantly change. And even CrossFit, although CrossFit, I just have to be honest, I have, I don't want to say a love-hate relationship with it. I just think if done improperly, there's a lot of injury that can happen from that. And I think most CrossFit coaches will agree with me. If they're not watching their clients properly, it is really easy to have improper form and to hurt yourself over the long run. So, if you do CrossFit, that's great. Just make sure that you've got somebody that's watching you. All right, but and those workouts are constantly changing, so you're going to constantly progress. You're never going to hit that plateau. But if you're constantly doing the same type of workouts day in and day out, you may hit a plateau. Okay, so the way to break a plateau is to change one of 4 things. Okay, and we call it the FIT principle, F-I-T-T. So F is frequency. So let's say you were going 3 days a week to work out. Well, maybe go an extra day. Okay, so you're adding a 4th day. Intensity. All right, your body gets used to the same amount of weights, or maybe the same speed, or the incline on the treadmill, or the resistance on the elliptical. Take it up. Okay, so increase your intensity. Time. Maybe you've been doing 30 minutes. Maybe it's time now to take it up a notch and go 45 minutes. Okay, and then type. If you're constantly on the treadmill, change it up. Get on a bike. Get on an elliptical. Okay, I know a lot of people say, well, I just can't get the same calorie burn on an elliptical or on a bike. My answer, you're not turning that resistance up hard enough. Okay, because I know when I get on a bike, sometimes at Orange Theory, I always change it up. Man, I turn that resistance up and my heart rate shoots way up. Okay, so you can do it. So type, change what you're doing. If you're doing a lot of machines, go to dumbbells. If you're doing a lot of free weights, go to machines. Just vary it so that your body is constantly guessing. Okay, so that's the secret of progression. And then the secret of accountability. There are tons of studies that are out there that show people who have made a commitment, who have told people what they're doing, who has somebody that is kind of watching them and maybe just every once in a while calling and providing some feedback. Those people are a heck of a lot. It's 2,200% more likely to achieve results than those who don't have anybody holding them accountable. So this is what I'm going to ask you to do. Shout it out to the world. And guess what? With social media nowadays, you can. Tell people what you're doing. Tell people what your goals are. Let them know what your commitment is so that they can hold you accountable. Now, you'll have the naysayers, and the naysayers are the people who say, oh, you'll never do that. You'll fail. It's just like the other thing that you did. You know what? It's okay. We all have naysayers in our lives. The nice thing is, if it's on social media, you can click hide and just hide those people. Don't worry about it. Don't let those people into your circle, okay? Surround yourself with positive, like-minded people, and I promise you, you will get the results that you're looking for, okay? So what makes those achieve results different from those who don't? Well, first of all, they understand what we're talking about tonight. They grasp the concepts, and they're willing to take action, okay? That's key. Taking action on what you learn. We can read all the self-help books, we can read all the fitness magazines, but if we're not actually taking any of that into action, we get nowhere. Okay, so that's one thing that sets people apart. Why do so many people fail? Well, first of all, there's so much bad information out there, like I talked about, and it's easy to cheat yourself. Let's be honest. Okay, if you've got a bag of Cheetos sitting in your cabinet, and nobody's there to watch you, nobody knows what your goals are, it's a lot easier to go into there, grab that bag of Cheetos, sit on the couch, and finish it off, right? It is. Okay? And then no guidance. If you don't have guidance, you're just kind of grasping at straws. Maybe you saw something on TV, maybe you read something in a magazine, you're like, oh, I'll do that. Okay, but you're not doing everything. And we need to make sure that when you have somebody that is your coach, that, you know, they're helping you with the exercise component. They're helping you with the nutrition component and the supplementation component, because ultimately those are the things that are going to help you get results. And that's what I want to go into next. Real quick, I want to share, we've got about 10, 15 minutes here. I just want to share some nutritional products that I recommend. I have some like getting started, because a lot of people don't really know what they should be using, how they should be using it, you know, what's really going to benefit them. So I want to make sure that I go over that. And I also, I want to share why I choose Advocare and why I recommend it to start off before I actually get into the products, because I think that's key. You know, anybody that knows me knows that I'm really cautious about what I put in my body, because I want to make sure that it's safe. There's so many things that are out there. When I was younger, I was taking a lot of these other different types of products, and there were some negative reactions that I got, some kind of scary ones. So I've been really careful about what I put in my body. What I found with Advocare is just I'm in the best shape of my life, best health of my life, and it's good stuff. And I'm going to show you why. All right. So let's do that first, and then I'll get into some specific products. The one thing again that I want to make sure that you guys understand is that supplements are just that. They're there to bridge the gaps from what we're not getting from our nutrition. They're also there to support our workouts. Okay, so you can see from this slide here, so supplements can enhance what we get from our food. Okay, so like a digestive enzyme that helps break down carbs, proteins, and fats from the meals that you're eating so your body can better utilize them. So that helps improve your food. Okay, also sometimes, you know what, a lot of people don't eat enough vegetables. They don't get enough fiber in their diet. So a fiber supplement can supplement what you're not getting from food alone. Okay, so that's one way that supplements can enhance your diet. Okay, but then also they can enhance your fitness. Okay, they can enhance your fitness through increasing your endurance. They can help with repairing muscle tissue. Okay, they can also help you sleep better at night. And when we sleep better at night, that's when our body does most of its healing. Okay, is when we sleep, but we need to be in a rested sleep, that deep REM sleep. Okay, we need to make sure we're dreaming like crazy, and that means our body is really repairing itself. The deeper the sleep you're in, the more rested you're going to be, but also the more recovery that you're going to see. And supplementation can help with all of those. Okay, so that's how everything is combined. And I always like to say, you know, because people are like, well, you know, do I really need supplements? You don't need them to live. Okay, we need food to live. Okay, we need supplements to thrive. Okay, we need supplements to fill in the gaps. You know, do you just, you know, do you want to be healthy and active, or do you just not want to be sick? You know, for me, I want to be healthy and active. I want to live a healthy lifestyle. I want to get into old age and have the best shot at living well when I'm older. I don't want to just not be sick. And that's where a lot of people kind of fall into. Like, well, I just do enough so I'm not sick. But the reality is what they're doing down the road is going to lead them to a lot of illness and disease. So we can be preventive by making sure that we're taking the right nutritional products and filling in those gaps, okay? So real quick, just about Advocare. For those of you who don't know about it or maybe hearing about it for the first time, it was actually founded back in 1993 by a man named Charlie Regis. And the reason you maybe haven't heard about it is it's only through independent distributors like myself. And if you were invited by somebody else, maybe they're a distributor as well. But Charlie did that for a couple of reasons. One, he just wanted to allow ordinary people like you and myself to earn some extra income from our families, be able to do a little bit more. So that was one reason that he founded Advocare as a direct sales company. But also, he wanted to have the world's finest nutritional products into the marketplace at a reasonable cost. Okay, and he wanted to make sure that it was based on the latest science, not fads. And so that's why he put Advocare together. And, you know, we have, and I know you can't read these on your screen, but you can go to Advocare's website and read the 10 guiding principles. These are the things that guide what Advocare does. And when I read that for the first time, I realized, okay, this is a company that's reputable. This is a company that is going to ensure that the products that I'm putting in my body are effective and they're safe. Okay, put the income thing to the side. I want to make sure my products are safe and effective before I ever recommend anything to anybody, and Advocare absolutely does that. Hey, the other thing that's really nice about Advocare, if you decide to use some of the products, there are 4 ways that you get involved, and we're really only focusing on the first 2 ways right now. But one of the things I want you to know is that there are no monthly minimums, there are no auto ship. Okay, so if you want to use some product, great. If you want to use some product one month and the next month maybe things are a little tight and you just can't do it, that's fine. You're not going to get charged, you're not going to get billed for anything, okay? That was one thing that was key for me. I don't care how good your products are, if you're constantly sending stuff to my house that I didn't personally order, I'm out, okay? So no monthly minimum, no auto ship. But that first way is as a retail customer. So if you like what you hear tonight, you just want to try something, you can just go to the website, place your order, and pay full retail value, which our products are definitely worth the retail value, and they're comparable to what else is out there in the marketplace, but definitely a higher quality. Okay. Second relationship is what I recommend. It's called a preferred customer. Preferred customer can save anywhere from 20 to 30% on their product purchases, just based on how much they order over time. But again, no monthly minimum, no auto ship. It's $20 to enroll. They actually send you this nice little welcome kit that has a little bit of free product in it. And from there, you have 20 to 30% off of your products. And the reason I like that relationship so much is that, again, wellness and health is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And the same thing with nutritional products. It's consistent effort over time. I've been taking these products since May of 2010. There's not a day that goes by that I don't have an Advocare product in my body. And the results, the way that I feel, I truly believe is a result of those products, because prior to that, I was still eating healthy. Okay, with the Advocare products, I've taken my results, I've taken my wellness to a whole nother level. Okay, so I wanted a discount because I'm using these products for well over 6 years now. Okay, so I've saved a lot, which has been nice. Okay, so the first 2 relationships that you see up there are more just your product user relationships. The last 2 are more your income. So if that is at all an interest to you, that's something we can always talk about one-on-one, okay? But it's definitely nothing we ever push. What's funny though is most people, when they get started, they just want to get on product, get great results, right? Well, then their friends and family are like, well, what the heck are you doing? So one of 2 things, okay? And I want to share this because it's important for myself and anybody else who's a distributor. If you start getting people asking you what you're doing, you have 2 options. One is you can become a distributor and you can start helping them, so you can now become their coach, which is pretty cool. Or you can send them to the person who got you started and we can take care of them, okay? Either way is fine, just don't let them not do anything. Don't hide it, okay? Advocare is great, the products are great, the programs we put together, because when we do this, guys, it's not just getting you on a bunch of products and we're like, cool, got it, who's next? It's, here's your products, here's a sample meal plan, here's some exercise that we recommend. If you have any questions, come to me. I'm going to be following up with you. I mean, it is a complete, we talked about those 4 secrets to achieving your goals. It's all that combined. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So preferred customer, $20 to join, and then it's one time a year, $20 to renew. Okay, not a bad deal. Some of the things that kind of just sets Advocare apart, I'll hit these real quick. If you see the top left there, maybe top right on your screen, that's Informed Choice. Advocare sends their products to a third-party company called Informed Choice to test for over 200 banned substances and impurities. Why is that important? Well, I want to know that what's on this label is in this product. Nothing more, nothing less. And Informed Choice makes sure that that's what's in it. Okay, so that's important. There's also the science behind. So Charlie Rangus, the founder of the company, was not a doctor, was not a scientist. He put together world-class doctors to formulate the products. And the top left there, Dr. Dudrick, recommend you look him up. Pioneer TPN, which is the nutrition that goes into the IV. So somebody who has put his whole entire life behind helping improve people's lives through wellness and nutrition is one of the guys that's putting our products together. That's a pretty cool thing. And all these doctors, top in their field, still working at their hospitals and universities, so they can't afford to associate themselves with a company or products that aren't reputable or products that don't work. The reason they associate themselves with Advocare is because it puts them on the preventive side of medicine, which is pretty cool. Okay, we actually have 5 lines now. I need to update the slide. So we have a trim line for weight management. We have an active line for those who are on the go, bars, energy stuff. We have our well line that has like your fiber, your multivitamins, fish oils, antioxidants, all that stuff. We have our performance line. And the performance line is not just for people who are hard, bodybuilders. It's for anybody who moves, okay? And now that you've watched this webinar, you're gonna start moving more, you're gonna lift more. So the performance elite line is definitely something that you'll benefit from, and I'll go over a few of them. And then the 5th one is the new fit line, which I'll go over. Okay, we have some amazing endorsers that use our products. Drew Brees, Jason Witten, Rich Froning, all top-level athletes. Cool thing is they're not financially compensated to endorse the product. In fact, they have to give up the right to endorse any other nutritional product. So why do they do it at their level that they can be paid so much for other nutritional companies? They love the products, they love the company, and they get results. And that's why they are proud to endorse the products. And then we're also the sponsor, the official nutrition partner for Major League Soccer. Now, the cool thing about that, and the reason that I share it with you, this all just goes back to the credibility and the safety of the products. You can't just throw a bunch of money at Major League Soccer and say, hey, we want to be your nutrition partner, okay? Guess what? The company that was there before, that has the G, well, they're out, okay? Major League Soccer said, you know what? You've got a superior product. We want to partner with you. And so now you're going to see Advocare's Rehydrate on every single sideline of Major League Soccer games. And that's a big deal, okay? Major League Soccer can't afford to put something out there that's going to tarnish their reputation. Okay, so all that said just goes to the credibility of the products. And so let's talk about the products. Like my nice little display here. So the first thing I want to talk about is the 24-day challenge. Okay, so you see it up on the screen. There are 2 phases to the 24-day challenge, the cleanse phase and then the max phase. And I'm not going to go over every single product here. Okay, the cleanse is designed to kind of be like an oil change for your body. It's just kind of clean out the intestinal wall so that your body can improve absorption of the nutrients that you're eating, help with elimination of waste. And speaking of elimination of waste, the cleanse is not your traditional cleanse. Okay, you do get to eat real food, and it's also gentle and uneventful. Okay, so you don't have to take off work for 10 days. It's not that type of cleanse. It's just giving your body all the good nutrients it needs to get it primed for the second phase, which we call the max phase. And that includes M&S, which is one of my favorite products that I take every day. It's a metabolic nutrition system. It has multivitamins, your fish oils, antioxidants, calcium, cardiovascular support, a little bit of appetite control and energy. It is a great foundational product. And that's one thing that's key, is having a foundation. Multivitamins, fish oils, calcium, probiotic is a good idea, but at least these 3 are a great foundation to take every single day without fail, so that your body's getting what it needs. And hey, you might not use every single nutrient that's in that multivitamin, but I look at it as insurance. I'm ensuring that my body is getting what it needs because I'm taking that. Anything that it doesn't need, it's just gonna eliminate, right? So that's a great product. You have fish oils, you have probiotics, you have your fiber. You do have some meal replacement shakes for troubled meals. Most people don't eat breakfast in the morning. So having the meal replacement shake, it is a true meal replacement. 220 calories, 24 grams of protein, about 24 grams of carbs, several grams of fiber, a couple grams of fat in there, and they taste phenomenal. And we have some vegetarian options as well. So we have some plant-based meal replacement shakes for those who are looking for that option. Okay, we also have an amazing product called Spark. So many people, many of you probably that are watching this have used it. I like to say it's what turns the light on in the brain, okay, and the body follows. For me, with coffee, my body's in high gear, but my mind may still be in bed. Okay, with Spark, turns the brain on and the body follows, so it's productive energy. Okay, so the 24-day challenge is a great place for somebody to start, because it comes with a meal plan, comes with all the products, the foundation. It really gets your body set up for success. So if you're not sure where to start, 24-day challenge is a great place. There are some additional add-on products if you need a little bit more energy, if you need a little more appetite control, if you want something to help with, sometimes we have those days where we eat a little more carbs than we know we should. There are products that will help with that. So reduce how many carbs are actually absorbed into the system and how quickly your blood sugar levels rise. So there's some great products there. Carbies is one of my favorites. Now, the second little bundle here is what we call the Lean Life Project. Okay, so you have your Spark for energy, you have your M&S for your foundation, but then you also have the Advil Greens, which is just a bunch of healthy greens like your kale and flax and all these different things that you might want to pile on to a salad, but it would be like you'd be dying eating it. Okay, it's in a nice powder, mix it with water, take it down, you're good to go. I have that every morning. In fact, right now I am on the 24-day challenge. It's day 3 for me, so I'm on the cleanse phase right now. But I do the Advil Greens every day. I do my Spark every day. I also do a product called Catalyst, which is branched chain amino acids that helps with fat reduction and helping increase lean muscle without any additional stimulants. So that's a great product to have. And then we have another, this is the Fit line that I was talking about. So this is our new Fit line. The Fit line was designed for the average person who is just being active. Okay, so regardless of what type of workout or type of activity you're doing, if you're being active, it's good to fuel your body. So we have a pre-workout or pre-activity product. It's going to give you a little bit of energy, a little mental focus, give you some B vitamins for that long-lasting energy, help you throughout your workout. We also have an intro, okay? Sometimes about 15, 20, 25 minutes into a workout, we start to get a little gassed. Well, that's when it's good to have this. There's no additional stimulant in it, but it has your electrolytes. It has some branched chain amino acids in it to help give you that extra little boost to keep you going and keep your endurance high. And then, of course, what would a workout be without a post? Okay, we need to make sure that after that workout, we're replenishing our body, giving it the amino acids that it needs to build muscle, right? So we've got an amazing post-workout. The nice thing about this post-workout is we actually have 2. We have one that's in the Performance Elite line, and then we have this one here. The difference between this one, this is great for anybody who is trying to eliminate fat, okay, because it's a lower calorie one. Now, if you're looking to gain or maintain, you may want to choose the post-workout recovery that we have in our Performance Elite line. Okay, also in the Fit line is ready drinks, okay? These shakes are phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but sometimes we just need to take something and go, okay? Now, this is technically not a true meal replacement because it's only 140 calories, but it still has 20 grams of solid protein in it. So, I mean, it's a good option to have with you when you're on the go, because then you have to just pop it, take it down, and you're good. Okay, so that's the Fit line. Now, some of the other products that I have on here that I just wanted to go over real quick, Rehydrate. So this is one of the products that I was talking about with Major League Soccer that is on the fields now that the athletes are drinking. It's an electrolyte replacement drink. It's the right ratio of sodium and potassium that has several other electrolytes and some aminos in it to give you what your body needs to maintain that balance. This is one of the most underutilized products for the average person like you and I, because most people think, well, this is only for athletes. This is only for high endurance, and it's not. It's for everyone. We have a lot of stress throughout the day that throws off our electrolytes. I take this every single night, and it helps me sleep better. Kylie does the same thing. She takes it at night. She's noticed that she sleeps better. Okay, because it helps give you that. When your electrolytes are balanced, your body's more calm. Okay, so Rehydrate is something that I highly recommend that everyone take every single night. Along with that, we have a great product called Nighttime Recovery. Okay, so Nighttime Recovery, it's calcium, magnesium, and it's some things that just help create a calming effect. It helps put you into a deeper sleep. Now, it doesn't help you fall asleep, okay, but it puts you into a deeper REM sleep. And like we talked about earlier, that deep REM sleep is where you get the most recovery. And so we want to make sure we're sleeping really well. For those of you who are doing some high endurance activity, O2 Gold, I call it my third lung. This is a great product. It literally does take your endurance up to the next level. It's going to allow you to be able to push harder, push longer, and be able to get more from your workout. So O2 Gold is a great one. And if you do need a little additional protein in your diet, we have a product called Muscle Gain. Don't let that name fool you. This is not just for bodybuilders. Okay, this is for anybody who just wants to get some additional protein in their diet and not looking for a meal replacement. So these have some carbs in them. This is very low carb, just high protein. Okay, so those are just a few of the products that I wanted to share with you. Now, here's one of the things. So we have over 70 different products. All right, so again, everything from general wellness to performance. You may just be looking for a multivitamin, and we have that for you. One of the things that you'll see on the Advocare website is the product navigator. Okay, so if you're interested, but you're not sure, if these are the right fit for you, you can go online to advocare.com. Whoever invited you tonight can send you their link. There's the product navigator on there. You'll just enter a few questions or a few answers to questions that are on there, like, what sex, what's your age, what are your goals, and then product suggestions for you will pop up, and you can kind of choose from there. So that's a great option for you as well. But ultimately, just get started. Okay, I highly recommend that you start your exercise program. You start making the right foods, prepping your meals in advance, but making sure that you're getting in the proper supplements to supplement your diet and supplement the things that you're not getting from your diet, and to just give yourself the edge through your workouts. Give yourself the edge to feel better. Because let's be honest, when we're feeling better, that affects everything around us. Okay, your relationships are better. Your work, you're going to feel better at work. So your work's going to improve. You're going to be more productive. Friends, family, coworkers, all that stuff gets better when you feel better. It's just a snowball effect. But we need to make sure that we're exercising, we're eating the right foods, we're eating clean, we're eating balanced, we're not falling for any of these fad diets, and we're supplementing with the right products for our body. So here's where I'm going to end it because our time is up. What's next? So one is commit to your program, right? Okay, so you definitely need to do that. Figure out what your program is, use the Advocare products, establish your purpose, and set a goal. Okay, what is your purpose? What do you want to achieve? Then start setting some goals and set a long-term goal that could be 1 year out, and then break it down to a 6-month, maybe a 3-month, and then break it down monthly from there, so that you have little wins all throughout the year. Okay, make a list of people that you're going to talk to. Let them know what you're doing. Remember that accountability is huge. Okay, so make sure you're out there and you're talking to as many people as possible. Share your story. Okay, as you're getting success, share your story, share what you're doing. And again, like I said earlier, if you're willing to coach them, by all means, do it. You don't need a degree. This isn't, again, I've said this several times, it's not rocket science, guys. I've got a degree behind my name, I've got certifications and all that, but the reality is, all the information is out there for you. It's common sense. Okay? You can do it. You can help other people. And what's amazing about that is it becomes a butterfly effect. Because what I've noticed with this is that, and there may be somebody that's watching this webinar that I've never talked to before. But because of something I said, they're going to change their lifestyle. And their friends and family are going to see them do it. They're going to start coaching them. Their friends and family are going to feel better. People are going to see that. They're going to help them. I mean, it's just amazing how many people that you can impact that you will never know you impacted, but you did because you decided to make the commitment. You decided to become a coach and a mentor to somebody else. And that's an awesome thing. So I highly recommend that you do that. And if you have any questions, guys, I want you to make sure you understand that you can reach out to us with any questions, any concerns. I'm always here available. You can find me on Facebook, Matt Hickey, obviously all the social media and all that stuff. But again, I want to thank you guys for being on tonight. there is a chat box on there. So if anybody's on here that has a question, I need to switch over my screen so I can see it. But if you see the chat box on your screen, feel free to put in a question, and I will answer it if there are any questions. So give me 1 second. See if I can pull it up. There's the chat. Michelle, I'm tired of my tire. It's awesome. Doing OTF 4 times a week. Should I still be adding another 2 days a week to get 6 days in? Also, is there any, I'm sure that's Advocare products you should not take together. Okay, so Michelle, great question. Hopefully you're still on. If you are, you can actually just put something in there and I can see. So you're doing the 4 times a week. Yes. Should you do something another 2 days a week? It doesn't have to be Orange Theory though. Just something active. Something, it could be a bike ride. It could be going for a walk, but a dedicated walk where you're doing it consistently for 30 minutes to an hour, and you've got a fast-paced walk that's getting your heart rate up. So that is included in activity. So that's perfectly fine. You are there. All right, awesome. So let's see. And any products that you should not take together. So most Advocare products can be taken together. The thing that you have to be careful with, let me show you, is if you do something like this. Let's see, Spark, Thermo Plus, take your free. I'll just use these, okay? So Spark has about the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee. The Pre has about the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee. Thermo Plus per serving is about maybe 1/3 of the caffeine in a cup of coffee. If you combine all of this, it's a lot of caffeine, okay? Throughout the day, we should probably only be getting about 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. Taken individually, these are fine. But if you took them all at one time, that might be a little too much. Okay, so that's the only thing that we really have to be cautious with is, are we taking too much caffeine? The other thing that could be a concern, something like the M&S has a multivitamin in it. So do you need to take another multivitamin? No. Okay, your body just wouldn't need it. You've got what you need in here. So those are some of the concerns. And if you ever have any questions about what you're specifically taking, and if there's any contraindications or any concerns about taking those products together, definitely ask. But that's a great question because, yeah, you do see a lot of this. And, I mean, I have 2 Sparks a day. I do my pre-workout before. Every once in a while, I'll do Thermo Plus just if I'm dragging a little bit. There's a little bit of caffeine in M&S, but it's spread throughout the day. So I'm typically not going over 300 to 400 milligrams, but I'm still taking all those products, okay? But the greens, catalyst, fiber, all that stuff, no worries putting that all together. So, cool. Let's see. Hi, Sierra. All right. It looks like that is all the questions. All right. Yep. So awesome. So I appreciate those of you who stuck around for the hour. I really appreciate you being on. Hopefully you learned something. You got a little bit more knowledge in your toolkit so that you can go out and get the results that you're looking for and finally achieve the results that you've always wanted, because you can do it. Remember, and keep this in your mind, it's consistent effort over enough time. Consistent effort over enough time. So guys, with that, thank you for being on. Make smart choices. We'll see you soon. You're welcome.